Getting low, fiend steady shooting dope where I'm from. Rain, sleet, and snow, yeah, the work gotta go, yeah, they got it for the low where I'm from. Yeah, them streets is cold when you gotta keep a pole, cause they really take it so where I'm from. Mama never home, so I got it on my own.
Welcome back to Elephant in the Room number 4. Oh, we're moving along quickly this week. Alright, today we gotta talk about some problems. This is gonna get a little more serious today. So the person joining me today, what you want me to call you? You want me to call you Spink or Dan?
It doesn't really matter. A lot of people around here probably know me more Spink, but
well, everyone around here, his name's Spink, but to the world, the rest of the world, his mama named Daniel. But what happened? Why'd I bring you on, man? What's going on?
well, I guess mainly talk about police brutality in America today. I mean, I had an incident the other night. Well, not to mention I've had a few in the past, but the other night I recently moved to Carlisle to start over, get a different job, all that, move away from Perry County, leave the past in the past, you know what I mean? Some more to say. And, well, I ended up getting some beers, me and my buddy Adam, who moved in with me, and we were down there drinking. We were out back smoking cigarettes. Well, we ended up getting in an altercation with my next door neighbor over the fence, and one thing led to another. He ended up pulling a gun on us, so that escalated the problem.
Now, when he pulled a gun on you, was he in your yard or his yard, or what happened with that?
He was standing in his yard. See, our yards are divided by a wooden fence, like a picket fence type thing.
Oh, okay.
Or like not a picket fence, more like a privacy wall type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And well, we were I was standing on my porch, he was standing in his yard, and this being said, this was like 2, 3 in the morning this was happening.
Right.
And so we're out there screaming this and that, and then next thing I know, there's the gun was presented. And so I got a little more hostile and loud, you know what I mean? And I think the downstairs neighbor to his apartment ended up calling the police. Well, shortly after that, his wife had came down, and we de-escalated the situation. Everything was fine, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't too concerned about the gun, like,
yeah.
It is what it is.
It didn't go off.
We were both drinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shit happens. Well, about 20 minutes go by, we're back in the house. My dog started going crazy at the back door, and I was like, I didn't know what was going on. So I said to my buddy Adam, like, hey, like, anybody out there? And he looked out back and he said, well, there's a couple flashlights out there. And I right away, I kind of knew what it was.
Yeah,
you
too
know
many
what I
people
mean?
carry flashlights around nowadays. Yeah.
So I went to go out back, and after I came out the back door, I could hear commotion going on at my gate to my fence, because the whole yard's fenced in. And I yelled out to see what was going on, and at this point they had like pretty much broken their way through the gate into my yard. And then that's whenever they said that they were Carlisle police, like the borough cops or whatever you want to call it, township.
So when they broke in the gate, did they break in the gate and come into the yard to look for y'all, or did they just break it in to look in the gate?
They said that they had gotten a call saying that there was a disturbance at that address.
Yeah.
So they said they were investigating, is what I said, but or what they said. And I said to them, so that gives you the legal right to break into someone's backyard? Like, there was obviously no one outside.
That has the fence up, it's locked
and
stuff.
We were inside, porch light was off, everything. Like, obviously nothing's happening at this address.
Right.
You know what I mean? So move about your business. Like, that happens all the time. Why couldn't you just go on your way? Well, since I had answered and came out, I was standing there in my yard, and recently we had a tree fall, actually, there in the backyard. So I'm in the process trying to climb over this tree because it blocks the walkway to get back to the gate. And that's whenever they were like, police, blah, blah, don't move, and they had pulled their guns on me. So right away I put my hands in the air because of everything that's been, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to get shot.
No.
Well, at that point in time, I got stumbled because I was trying to get over those branches, and they were like, well, of course I was drinking, and of course, right away they knew I was drinking because I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. from I guess the call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But well, anyway, I ended up getting out to him with my hands up, and I came out to the gate, and they were standing in the alleyway, because I got an alleyway behind my house, and there's train tracks that go along right there. And they were parked, there was 3 cop cars, they were parked in the alleyway, and I was standing in my yard still, talking to them through the gate.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, hey, will you come out here so we can talk to you? And I was like, why? And they wouldn't tell me like, exactly why they were called there, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
like anything like that. So for about 5 more minutes, I was like, well, tell me why you guys are here, you know what I mean? Like, and then I'll, come out. Well, just to move, like I said, it's like almost 2:33 in the morning. My girl gets off at like 5.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really trying to, you know what I mean? I was trying to hurry things along, get them out of there. So I was like, whatever. I walked out. As soon as I walked out of my yard into the alleyway, they just grabbed a hold of me. Started trying to put my hands behind my back, slam me against the cop car. When they did, they slammed me against the front hood of like the fender, and I slid down. And when I slid down is when I hit the back of my head on the brush guard.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's when the back of my head got split. And at that point, I'm on the ground, kind of like, because like I said, I was already drinking, so at that point, I'm like dazed, you know what I mean? I don't really know what's going on.
Right.
The next thing I know, there's 2 male officers on top of me trying to restrain me, and they're saying, quit resisting, quit resisting. And I have no clue what's even happening now. Like, why am I being arrested? Why am I on the ground? You know what I mean? Like, why is all this happening in the first place?
Right.
And because at this point in time, I still have yet to be told why they're even there.
Right, like what they're trying to charge
yeah,
you with.
And like next thing I know, something had happened. I either was kicked during the whole scuffle or kneed or something, but that's how I received this black eye I had here, which he has pictures of. It was clearly way worse. And I have marks all over me from the scuffle on the ground and all that. I have probably a wound that needed stitches in the back of my head. You've seen that.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, it was the next day that I came over here and was talking to you, and I was still bleeding.
That's why I wanted you to come on.
Over 24 hours later, I was still bleeding out of the same wound.
Out of the same, all the back out of his head. It was completely ridiculous, completely uncalled for. So, what do you think? Why do you think they feel like they can do things like this? Like, well, before we even do that, before we even get to that, so what happened after that? Like, do you remember making it to the jail cell? Do you remember getting put in the back of the cop car?
All right, after they had gotten me up, like, the whole time, it was a struggle with them. They were just, like, slamming me all around. Next thing, they picked me straight up off the ground, opened the car door, threw me in, shut the door.
Right.
Nothing was said to me for a good maybe 15, 20 minutes. No one was even around. Nothing. And I could hear the radio, the people talking over the radio about what was going on, and that's whenever I actually found out about the public intoxication charge or whatever, or the disturbance, whatever they were actually originally called there for, or whatever. And because I actually heard on the radio, and then I guess they went to talk to my neighbor, who is
the one you got in the argument with?
Yeah, the one that I was actually in the argument with. Right. So, because at this point, I don't know who exactly called the cops. I don't know which neighbor it was. I don't know if it was that man's wife or what. Because there was another girl there too. I don't know if that was their roommate or whoever. Right. But they went over to talk to him.
Somebody called the cops.
But see, he himself is like safety patrol or something like that for Dickinson College here in Pennsylvania.
And he did have a gun and stuff, and they still didn't say anything to it. So what happened with this? They didn't talk to him about the gun that he got?
I never got a chance, before they talked to him, I never got a chance to tell them any of this. Like, and I never got a chance to tell my side of the story one bit.
Right.
Because of the whole, I was resisting part. By then, once I resisted, according to them, I lost all my rights.
It's how they like to say. It's like what they like to do.
There no longer was I worthy of being questioned or anything like that. I was guilty.
Instantly.
Yeah. So then they come back after talking to him. Meanwhile, I guess my buddy Adam, who I told to stay on the porch, who conveniently, since he stayed on my porch, was not arrested, even though he was just as drunk as I was.
Right.
And apparently, whenever they were over there talking to him, to my neighbor, about what was going down, my buddy Adam had tried to tell them about what he was doing and about the
Right.
gun and all that, and they literally told him to butt out of it. That was the cops' exact words.
Wow. So they didn't bother asking anyone at your household what was
Nothing.
going on. in
But
the
they asked
situation?
all 3 people that were involved, the neighbors.
Well,
Him,
did,
his wife, and their roommate.
did they ever talk to the downstairs neighbor or anything like that? 'Cause
I'm
you
not-
said there might have been a possibility that they called, but
I'm not
if they
quite
called,
sure.
I think that the cops probably would have went
That's
to
what
their
I'm
house,
saying.
too.
Like, I'm not quite.
So
I
what
don't
do you
know.
mean? What do you mean by safety patrol? What is that? What's going on with
I
that
don't,
Carlisle?
I don't quite know if it's. He's like the what is it, like the people that police the college campus. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I've seen him coming home from work a couple times, and he's got like a uniform on, but it's not like a cop uniform. You know what I mean? He's more
Yeah.
like it kind of looks more like a one of those people that drive the armored trucks around for the banks. He's got
Like
like a gray,
security.
yeah, like a gray suit, like gray shirt with black pants.
Yeah.
But he has a utility belt type thing, and he carries a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gun, cuffs, all that when he's at work. But the gun he pulled on me didn't look. It wasn't black. Like it was. You know what I mean? It had like a finish on it or something. Like it was his personal weapon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for like I'm all for having your carry permit and having the rights to bear arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that. But I literally talked to the man. We literally exchanged 3 sentences, and he was right away to pull a gun out. Like, needless to say, the dude is a mountain of a man. He's 5 times my size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
still felt he needed to pull a gun.
still felt like he needed to pull a gun out. Like, don't get me wrong.
Use a bitch. Use a bitch. I hope you see
you know
this.
what I
Use a
mean?
bitch.
B.I.G. don't spell bad, but
Nah.
still, like, you got a hell of a better chance of whooping my ass than I
Nah.
do yours if you're
Yeah.
5 times bigger than me. And
Yeah.
you still felt the need to pull a pistol on me?
Yeah.
Like,
So, like, I mean, in my
and yet
opinion,
nothing
there's no-
happened to this man.
That's what I was about to
He
say.
was
If
not
he's
even booked. He was also drinking, and he was not taken into custody and taken
drinking
to the
and
barracks.
had a weapon on him while he was drinking.
Exactly.
Pulled a weapon on someone while he was intoxicated, and nothing happened to this guy. Now, that is fucking ridiculous. So that makes me feel like, all right, he got a gun and cuffs and everything like that. Even if he's not a cop, he has to have some type of, like, he's probably talked to cop. He has to be friendly with cops at least, because if you're carrying a gun and badge, you're putting people in.
That's what I'm saying.
Some
He's
type-
probably
you know what I
arresting
mean?
people, drunk college kids, and so
Some
he probably
stupid
deals with
shit.
the cops every day.
So he
you know
feels
what I
like
mean?
he's some type of special and can do whatever the
Exactly,
fuck he wants.
like-
No, that is ridiculous. That's horrible. All right, so why? Wow, that's so crazy.
And
That's
yet,
so crazy.
there was 5 people involved in this whole incident, and I'm the only one who got
So
taken
how
to
many-
Carlisle Police Barracks.
How many cops showed up for the whole incident?
3. There was
3.
1 female cop and 2 male officers.
Yeah.
Now, meanwhile, the whole time I was being roughed up, it was only the 2 male cops like that were assaulting me. I'm gonna say assault because that's what it was.
Absolutely,
It was
that was absolutely assault.
blatantly assaulted by the police.
Police brutality,
Yes.
abuse of power,
But-
whatever you want to call it.
The next morning, when I was released and I got my paperwork for my charges, conveniently, the female officer's name was the only one on the paper.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably his cousin or some shit, man.
So I demanded that they give me the number to the actual city. They took me to the prison, to the actual prison, to a holding cell. So I demanded the number for the police station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had that called in and got the badge numbers and the names of the 3 officers who responded
So
to
you
that
got them
call.
all now.
Yes, I haven't wrote down at my house, but I
Yeah.
forgot to bring it because I didn't quite know this was exactly happening or not.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No,
So
absolutely.
I'm not really prepared, but
No, it's all right. Like I'm gonna have something set up before or after. I don't know.
Yeah.
The people that watching know if it's before or after. It's most likely gonna be before, but I'll
It's
have
just like I don't
I'll
understand.
have what I can put up on the internet. I don't want to put all like your personal information and stuff
yeah,
like that up.
yeah, I
but
get that, but like
the
I
cops'
see
names
videos
fucking
all the
up,
time
absolutely.
on like Facebook and stuff like that. People sharing videos and stuff, and like you always it's happening out there, and people they're all about having all this stuff to show pride for everything, and like everyone's all these lives matter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I keep seeing all this stuff about blue lives matter, and it's like, how does that even make sense? Whenever, first off,
I don't think there should be like a Blue Lives thing. I think we're all
Yeah.
American citizens. We should
exactly.
look out for each other.
Plus, it's usually like Black Lives Matter, Hispanic Lives Matter, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You don't get to choose your race when you're born. You chose to become a police officer.
Exactly.
So for you to act like that when you come to a scene, I feel like you doing it out of fear.
That's
And-
a really interesting point you make, because one of the things that always gets me about the whole police brutality situation and everything else is the cops What's the biggest excuse you hear from a cop when they shoot someone that's unarmed? I panicked.
Yeah, they were fearing for their life.
I thought my life was in fear. But us as American citizens, the people that these people are supposed to be protecting and fucking serving, not arresting, detaining, and trying to fucking beat the shit out of every chance they get. People are supposed to be protecting and serving. We can't get nervous.
Yeah,
we can't freak out. If we get nervous, we get shot in the fucking face. If we freak out and try to protect ourselves, we get beat. Oh man, we get our spines kicked in so you can't fucking walk anymore. It's ridiculous. At the very best. Because worst case, you're definitely getting shot. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
No,
and it's nothing. It's nothing to them. They don't give a shit one way or the other. No, that's the police officer. They're here to protect and serve America. But at that moment, you're not America. At the moment they're here to come for you, you're not America. You're not the person they're here to protect and serve. They're to protect and serve the motherfucking selves and the government and the politicians that make the laws to fuck us all over one way or another. It's fucking bullshit, man. I don't understand how this shit keeps going down the way it does. And like certain people bring it up. Certain candidates that are running for president bring it up right now, man. I don't give a fuck. Camila Harris, bro. I'm voting for that chick all fucking day. I fuck with her, dude. And it's one of the main things that she brings up is the police brutality is fucking rampant. It's rampant. And the other thing is like they put all these people in jail. And once you put them in jail, then they really become criminals. The people that really weren't criminals, then you're in there with real criminals. You get to hear stories about,
exactly.
You were doing this for this, and this.
And all that.
Oh man, I robbed 3 banks and made $50,000 last year. They only caught me for 1. You hear stories like that in jail all the fucking time. That's like, oh man, why go back and fight for these people? Why go try to be a part of the society that already kicked me out of it?
Not to mention, all these prisons are overpopulated and everything.
That's because they're privatized.
Anyway.
It's because they're privatized, and the state has contracts with the private prisons. And if they don't keep a certain amount of people in the private prisons, the contracts that they have with the state will let them sue the state for a certain amount of money for every bed that's empty. Yeah, you didn't hear about the judge in Harrisburg that got caught convicting younger men and sending them to these placements and prisons and all this other shit.
See, man,
he was getting paid
this
off.
is why, like, I'm so
that was here in Harrisburg,
offended and stuff by this, because, like, dude, I stay to myself, man. Like, I stay off Facebook, all that stuff, dude. I barely even watch TV because, like, I can't stand what's going on in this country.
It's horrible.
And
speaking of Harrisburg, like, look.
You can't even mind your own business anymore in America without repercussions happening.
Like, for us, you can't sit in your house and enjoy yourself whatever the fuck way you want to do and not harm anyone, whether it be smoking weed, drinking, whatever the fuck you want to do in your own household. As long as you're not putting your kids in danger or harming somebody else or robbing people to get your fix. What the fuck are we doing?
Get this,
what
man.
are we doing?
I literally had a cookout out of my house one time, and we had a bunch of people over. You know what I mean? We were drinking beer, partying, all this.
This is America.
Well, I ended up getting the cops called on it, dude. It was still daylight outside, and we ended up, because me and my neighbor got in an argument over some dumb stuff.
Right.
He called the cops. I got literally disorderly conduct for an excessive noise complaint at 6 o'clock in the evening in the summertime. In a place where there's no noise ordinance.
It's ridiculous.
Tell me how that works.
So let me ask you like
all
this.
Because I had a name with those cops that were around my area, because I was previously arrested before by them.
That's all it takes. Once you're in the system, you're in there. That's why I said once you go to jail, I feel like society throws you away for the most part. Like, oh, he's a cop. Like, ain't no point talking to them. Ain't no point hiring them. It's all crazy. Right? It's all crazy. All right, so let me ask you like this though. Do you feel like there's anything you could have done once you stepped into that alleyway to make things go any type of different for yourself? To not get fucked up, kicked in the head, fucking split all open, have a crazy ass black eye, like your back's all split open. You think there's anything you could have done to make that go any type of different for yourself?
If I would have walked through that gate and dropped straight to my knees, maybe I would not have gotten beat up or something. But like as soon as I all but like closed the gate behind me, I was getting grabbed a hold of, and like they didn't stand there and talk to me like we're talking now.
Questioning.
Nothing like that. They didn't say, "Hey, we got a report of an incident." They didn't ask me for my identification. Never once even read me my rights while I was being arrested, detained.
You didn't get Mirandized.
Nothing. Not even once I got back to the holding cell till my blood alcohol content came down.
Right.
Which, alright, I'm no, like, lightweight when it comes to drinking. I don't even drink light beer. I drink lagers and whiskey.
Yeah. And
I literally we bought a 15-pack of those Natty Daddies, They're like, because they're 8%, I only have a couple bucks on me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I split it with my buddy, so that's like 6-7 beers a piece, you know what I mean? One of us gets 7, one of us gets 6. They were trying to tell me my blood alcohol content was almost 0.2 something. I forget exactly, but it was like 0.9 something like that. Off, and I literally wasn't even drinking them that heavy. So you mean to tell me, like, I'm not going to say, I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that, but I'm like a seasoned drinker. I was partying when I was a teenager, all that, you know what I mean? And I can drink with the best of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how is that possible for me to have a blood alcohol? Like, I never once got to see the breathalyzer. They just made me blow on it once I got to the barracks. And then they told me I was being detained because until my blood alcohol content was down low enough for them to let me go.
Right.
Which conveniently left me stuck in there until the next morning when I could get a ride. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you can go to the hospital and everything.
You know what I mean?
You did make it to the hospital afterwards. How long did they take you to get any medical treatment, even though you were sitting in the jail cell leaking out blood out the top of your head and shit?
Once I got in there, they had me still in handcuffs and shackles. I was in there for, I don't know, because like I couldn't see a clock, but I was in there for a few minutes. Then someone came in, they took the cuffs and stuff off, and they said someone's going to be in to look at you here in a few minutes. And I sat in there. They actually, surprisingly, they didn't take that long to come in. And they had a medic. They said they were a medic or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? They weren't. You know what I mean? Probably the person, they have their own staff. But they were looking at the back of my head. I mean, the eye thing. I've had black eyes before. I figured that wasn't really. You know what I mean?
But you also
it was
got
bad.
a busted blood vessel on the side.
Oh yeah,
It's
I had a floaty in, dude. Like it was messing with me whenever I was trying to like drive and stuff like that, dude. Like.
So like you say, it wasn't that serious, but it was obviously serious enough to pop a blood vessel.
Yeah, I guess. So I guess yeah.
Like
you know
I've had
I mean?
black eyes before,
but
it's not the most common thing to get.
The main thing I was worried about was the back of my head. You know what I mean? Because like I can't see that. You know, all I kept doing was putting my hand back there and pulling it back, and it was covered in blood.
Yeah.
And they literally looked at it, and they looked at it for a good 3-4 minutes, pulling my hair and all this, and I'm like
trying to see if you need stitches.
I might be drinking, but that shit still hurts. And they literally told me that, no, you're fine. You just need cleaned up. You don't need stitches.
See, it's real funny to me that they said that, because like you said, like you got out of jail, we did all this, and then you came over to see me, and you were still leaking. Like I saw the cut in your head. I guarantee you probably needed stitches. At least when it first happened.
When I went after all this to get medical, you know what I mean, to get the medical records and stuff, because I'm contacting a lawyer, and I'm taking this to a trial or whatever I got to do, because my voice is going to be heard.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm tired of this. Like, this has happened before, where my one buddy, we're both Italian, we both have dark hair, we both grow the same kind of beard, you know what I mean? Mine's a little bushier than it normally is right now, but we kind of look the same, you know what I mean? Well, he was apparently wanted by the cops there in Perry County, by Newport State Police, and they came to my house looking for him. To my property, a place I legally owned.
Yeah.
And they were beating on both my doors, my front and back door, beating on the windows, the sides of my trailer, all that.
Yeah.
So it woke me up, because my girlfriend at the time, she was working night shift. So like she's sleeping throughout the day, you know what I mean? So this is probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning this is happening. And that's about the time I usually got up, whatever, you know what I mean? And I hear all this going on, and I'm like, what in the fuck is happening? I go to open my door, next thing I know, there's you know what I mean, there's a cop standing there. He rips me out of my house, like through the doorway, slams me back into the wall, my metal siding, tin siding of my trailer, dents it the whole way in, completely just bust my siding out. Then they like try to like rough me up onto the ramp. Well, I broke free, because he was, you know what I mean, I'm not big at all, but he was smaller than me. I don't know what he ever thought becoming a cop. Like, you're too small for that crap. Like, but I ended up getting free from him. I jumped down the ramp, and I was like, yo, like, what the fuck's all that for? Like, if that's really what you want to do, we can do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
And that's whenever, like, I didn't know what was happening. Like I said, I just woke up, and I'm, like, being harassed by the cops all of a sudden. Well, when I did that, yeah, that was kind of stupid, but like I said, you guys came to my house beating on my door. As far as I'm concerned, you're a nussance.
For nothing.
Like, yeah.
Not even the person they're
I'm
looking
not,
for.
yeah, like the dude wasn't even there, you know what I mean? And, well, next thing I know, after I said that, like, I didn't even, like, no fists were thrown, anything like that. I'm just standing at the bottom of my ramp, and I cocked off to him and said that.
Yeah.
And 6 cops just swooped me. Slammed me on the hood of my girlfriend's brand new car. We just got it not even a week before this.
See,
and
you know what the problem is? Hold on, before you even go, the problem is like the fact that you have to say, yeah, that was stupid, or the fact that the first thought that popped into my head when you said, yeah, I told the cop that that's what you want to do. Fuck that. Man, fuck that. Listen, we are there. They work for us.
Yeah,
they work for
see,
the citizens. And we shouldn't feel like we shouldn't be able to tell a cop, fuck you, if they're being a dickhead. We should be able to say that.
You're exactly
they can say
right.
what the fuck they want, but 9 out of 10 of us aren't fucking criminals. I'm not a fucking criminal. I don't be out here robbing people. I don't be out here selling drugs. I should be able to say what the fuck I want. But anytime a cop pulls up on me, I'm scared for my motherfucking life. I am terrified, bro. If we get pulled over, I got kids in the car, man. Anything is possible. Anything's possible with these police nowadays because they have no fear of the law themselves.
Exactly.
And they got the blue wall, man. If any cop
police.
would tell on another cop, cops all look at them like they're some type of dickheads. No, you motherfuckers are supposed to be following the laws too.
Exactly. And then, then they say, well, they never respond to a call by themselves. Well, then that being said, every other cop, because I know every time a cop's been calling me, like you said, you're not a criminal. I'm not a criminal either. Yeah, I have charges, but they're all like either traffic citations or, like I said, something stupid like drunk in public, something like that, or disorderly conduct. Like, I never assaulted no one to the point where I got an assault charge. Never, you know what I mean? Like, never robbed. You know what I mean? Like, never robbed nobody's home. None of that shit.
That's not even the problem. If you want to sit here and call someone a criminal, it should be someone like motherfucking Scarface. It should still be someone that's alright. I hate to say gangbang. I'm motherfucking. Make it hard, man. Y'all motherfuckers make it hard. But those are the type of people, this is my life. I'm a criminal, I'm a gang member, I'm this, that, and the third. Alright, call them motherfuckers criminals.
Yeah.
If someone out here fucked up once or twice and man, if you want to try to tell me you ain't never break the law in your life, I don't give a fuck who you are in America. You're a goddamn liar. Go ahead and tell you never jaywalked. Go ahead and tell me you never smoked a motherfucking joint in high school or anything. I don't give a fuck. If you're a Christian, you had to say, you all know what it is. Everyone in the country knows what it is. It's something most people just never got caught. You gonna tell me you never got in a fight as a fucking teenager? Any politician, any of y'all motherfuckers, most of y'all motherfuckers got in some type of fight or some type of something. You did something illegal. You drank as a fucking teenager. Anything. Any of those possible things. And y'all motherfuckers want to sit here because someone else got caught for doing the same thing you did as a teenager. They got caught for it. They went to jail for 3 years and now they're officially a criminal for the rest of their motherfucking life. Get out of my goddamn face with that bullshit.
It's sad to say, but honestly, that's the world that we're living in today, and that's what it's coming down to. Like, that's why we need to do the things like we're doing now, to let people know this, because, like you said, it's running rampant in our country right now. Like,
I was talking to you earlier about it, man. It's like a shooting star. Every video that you see on the internet is someone getting fucked up by the police or this that. Those are shooting stars in the sky. For every one that you see, there's thousands of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Thousands that same day that you have no idea about. It might have been some Spanish dude that has no idea even to communicate with people. The cops were whooping his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
It's I don't even. And it's like once they, not even that though, dude. Like, even if you have a phone and you have someone there recording you, once you're in the back of that cop car and you're in the police barracks and stuff, you're under their cameras.
Yep.
Anything can happen. Like, you see all the time where body cams weren't working or something happened where the camera turned off for a few seconds and conveniently turns back on after they find stuff in the person's car and stuff like that. Like, come on, dude. You literally, like, that's what makes me mad. It's not even the fact that they're doing it. Like, it's the fact that they think we're dumb enough to believe the shit that they're doing.
I think one of the big problems is now, y'all take it how the fuck you want. Most cops are the same dudes you saw playing high school football. Now, knowing what we know about high school football, I don't don't think these are the people that should be protecting us. I think you should have a fucking IQ test. I should think there should be way more ethics tests. I think there should be so much more shit than they have to do. Like, you should have to understand the laws that you're trying to protect.
Yeah,
most of these cops don't even know the laws.
Them dudes that were like picked on and shit that
Absolutely,
grew up
they
in
all
the
got
complex
fucking
and
issues.
yeah,
Issues,
they
man.
just want to prove a point.
I'll put it to you like this: cops are so motherfucking gung ho to pull out lie detector tests on anybody they want to question for anything in the motherfucking world. I'm saying the cops are so motherfucking gung ho about going around and giving anybody a lie detector test for anything that they feel as though they should be able to give them a lie detector for. Like, oh, you want to prove your innocence, da 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 da. Alright, so any American that they feel as though innocent might be guilty of something is automatically guilty in their eyes. And you see this shit all the time. It don't matter. Like, how many people do they go through every investigation before they get to someone that's actually the guilty person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not the first person most of the time.
It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but it's not nowadays in America. It's guilty until you're proven innocent.
Exactly. Now, if we as American citizens should be treated like that based on what the cops know about what they know about the American citizens, I think that they should be treated like that too. If everyone's guilty until innocent, them motherfuckers are guilty too. All of y'all motherfuckers are dirty until you can show me a lie detector test. I want to see y'all give a lie detector test saying that you never planted nothing on nobody. You never pulled nobody over for nothing, no reason, that you never made an illegal stop to somebody. You never planted evidence on nobody. You never knew about another cop doing something illegal and didn't turn them in. I want to know all that shit. All them simple motherfucking questions that I guarantee most of them ain't going to be able to answer. You know what I mean? How many cops you think will get shut out of the force immediately?
Probably over half. I don't know. I honestly truly do believe that. I feel for every for every handful of good cops you have 10 other handfuls of cops that aren't. I honestly do, to be honest. Like,
at least not up to the standards they should be. Not even if they're not bad. They should not up to the standards they should be.
Beating people bad, like to where they're like beating people down, like in my case.
Yeah, like what happened.
But like corrupt in some sort of way. I believe over 85% of the cops out there are in some way, shape, or form corrupt.
Yeah.
I honestly do.
Yeah.
From my experiences, I mean.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that high. I would like to say. Depends on, and you know what? Depends what level of corruption. If you're looking at the level like the cops are supposed to be. I mean, I forget what comedian said it, but you're supposed to do your job right every single day. If an airplane pilot fucks up, they kill people.
Exactly.
You fuck up, you kill people. It should be the same type of thing. Like, if you fuck up in an airplane pilot position, you crash a plane, you don't get to go back to work. You don't get to go back to being a pilot after that. You go the fuck home, you're done. You don't get to fly no more. You killed somebody and your fucking job.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like,
it should be the same thing as a cop. Like, if you kill an American citizen, that should be a traumatic event. Even if they're a bad person, even if they're a criminal. You should still be looking at these people as your brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? So to me, it should be traumatic that you had to take a life of an American citizen being a cop. The same type of people you're supposed to be protecting and serving. And if it's not an emotional event and it doesn't bother you at all, that you just killed that criminal in your eyes, that person that just was the piece of shit in America, the people that make the country bad. That should fucking bother us.
Yeah.
As Americans, because like I said before, man, anybody that has any type of problem, like everyone has done something illegal. Everyone's done something. You took your parents' car for a joyride before your license. You drank underage. You got in a fight. Something fucking illegal. But just because they get caught for whatever, and it's not always the worst type of people that the shit is happening to. You know what I mean? That's the point. Like, you look how many videos there are just people getting pulled over and shot.
That's what I mean. It's the petty stuff
It's
that
the
the people like us that are getting angry about, because it's like.
And we're right by Harrisburg. So, like, think about that. Think about all the shit that's come out in Harrisburg in the last couple years. Like I said, that judge that was putting kids in jail, and they had like 53 fucking Catholic priests in there, or like some outrageous amount of number of people that was getting raped. It was like 50 some fucking people got raped over there, and they were just moving them around the country, just move them out of the country. It was like a little fucking hub for these Catholic priests out here touching kids and shit, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
It didn't mean shit. Like, it was a big story for like 3 months, and then there's drug dealers out here again. Well, them motherfucking drug dealers are just trying to make money. Them motherfuckers are raping boys and girls, raping what the fuck ever. Like, that's fucking people's lives up for good. Nobody has to get raped.
And
people
like,
ask for drugs. I hate to say it like that, but
exactly. I was just about to say that. Like, I understand where everyone comes from, because I've had friends who've OD'd, And yeah, I felt the same way they felt when they were in pain about how, you know what I mean, yeah, I want to kill a motherfucker they got the shit from.
Yeah.
But it's like, that person didn't make you buy that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a rapist and shit like that, a fucking robber, someone like that, burglar, they make you give up the shit they want. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, even a burglar, they do.
Unless
But
they're like,
it's not
let's say
so
break
forceful
in.
with them, but
Yeah.
like robbers and shit.
I'm talking
they're right
like
in the face.
armed, fucking armed home invasions
home
and shit like
invasions
that.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
I'm not talking about people
that's
like cat
completely different.
burglars, people that break in when you're not home.
I know
and
they're
shit
bad
like
too.
that.
Don't get me wrong, they're
But-
wrong too. They're way out there too. Like not
Well, yeah,
type
but
of crime,
I mean-
right, but there's that's what I was talking to my boy Tony about in my other episode. Though there's levels to this shit, man. There's levels to this shit. Like there's levels of crime. Like there's a difference between somebody breaking into a house and stealing a fucking safe out the crib when nobody's home, and somebody breaking into the crib, tying everybody up, hitting people in the face
And
with a
demanding
gun.
this code to the safe.
Exactly.
Like that's, yeah,
There's
I know what
two
you're saying.
completely different types of criminals, but they get put in the same type of jail. Now,
Exactly.
neither of them are right. You're both breaking the motherfucking law. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about the fact that if you put this guy that only did that in the same jail with this guy that was doing the other thing, breaking people, you know what I mean, da-da-da-da-da. Now, how do you expect them to interact in that jail cell together? Do you think that they really deserve to be in the same type of jail cell, learning from each other or disliking each other? That same person that was willing to tie somebody up and a whole family up. What do you think they're willing to do to that person that's a burglar if they get in an argument? And what do you think the person that didn't even want to be around the family when he stole this shit is going to try to do to this dude? You understand? Like, it's completely separate. I'm not saying they're, but they are.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in the same type of places.
Like I understand there's still crimes, but yeah, like you said, there's degrees, like you know, like even felons. You know what I mean? Like there's always a degree to your felonies, misdemeanors, and all that.
Yeah.
But like that being said, you
You
know,
all go to the
like
same
it's
place.
yeah, exactly. You all go to the same place, like and like you said, you're all interacting with one another. Like yeah, don't get me wrong, there's degrees of prisons too.
Like, think about the saying, a bad apple spoils the batch. All right, now think about that for a second. What if you got an entire bowl of badass fucking apples, and you take one apple that's really not that bad. It's got a bruise on it. It got dropped. It made a mistake. There's a bruise on it. It's not mold and everything else. It's not corrupted quite yet. What happens to that apple when you put it in the bowl with all the bad apples?
Exactly.
How long is it going to take?
Not long.
It's not going to take long at all. It's not like putting one bad apple in a batch of good ones and it takes a long time for the entire batch to get bad apple. No. You're putting a good apple in with all bad apples. It's going to take days, moments. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. All right, though, but are you voting? Are you planning on voting? Who's your guy? Who you liking this year?
I mean, like last time when he ran, I'm probably going with Bernie, to be honest.
I like
I mean,
this time though, man. He's front runner.
I'm voting for anyone but Trump, to be
Anybody but
honest.
Trump.
Like, I can go in there blindfolded, and as long as I know I'm not voting for Trump, I really honestly don't care. Like,
Yeah. But you got to be careful with that, though, man. You got to be careful.
I'm
'cause,
willing to give
this is
anyone
one of
a
them
shot though, at this
situations-
point.
I know, but I feel like this is also one of those situations where a lot of people are going to be like that, and it might end up being the case like, all right, we kill a dictator to get another dictator. You know what I mean? Like there might be another crazier Democrat.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But Bernie ain't him. We all know that. Bernie ain't him. And y'all can say what you want. Oh, Bernie's a fucking socialist. No, man, he cares about people. He wants people to be people for fucking God's sake. He wants healthcare to be free, education to be good. That's how you get a good country.
That's what our founding fathers wanted. It was all about the people. When the fuck did that change?
I don't know. We went from the point it went from the point where when our founding fathers came over here, the whole point is nobody's a motherfucking king. We're all people. That motherfucker over there in England pretending to be, you know what I mean, a king or a god, or you know what I mean. They're just a person too. They still gotta wipe their ass when they take a shit, so it's whatever the fuck they want to say. But at the end of the day, anybody could be that guy. I was talking to my boy Tony about this not too long ago. I don't think it was on the podcast though. I talked to him, I was like, man, listen, if the whole world goes to shit, say communications on the entire planet go out. You see it in zombie movies and shit all the time. What does it really take to be a king? What does it take to be a king? It takes about 4 or 5 other people saying that you're a king. You gotta get other people to agree with you and say that you're the king.
Yeah.
And it takes a big ass stick.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Take a big ass stick. If you're willing to take that, guys, like if you're saying you're a king and I'm saying I'm a king, if I'm willing to take your life, now I'm king. Who else gonna argue with me? Now, there's always gonna be someone else who's gonna argue with you.
Bro.
There's always gonna be someone else. I hate to say it like that, but there is. There's always gonna be a
I'm
king.
the king.
Now I'm the motherfucking king. Now the biggest problem then I think like that's why I said if all the communications go out, because then there's no cops. Cops are only cops as long as he's got communications. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As long as they have a radio that's faster than your car, then there's cops. But other than that, they're just people with badges on their chest saying they're the good guy, like a sheriff in the Wild Wild West. That's why that shit was so wild back then.
Yeah.
But that's really all it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's how it goes, though. You see in zombie movies, though. Like, you saw in The Walking Dead, every time there's a group of people, someone's like, oh, well, I'm the guy. And they're like, oh, you are the guy. You know, it's really about, are you willing to take the responsibility to be the guy, and there's other people like you enough to let you be the guy. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
It's not really being trustworthy, because look at Trump, that motherfucker's... It's a bad man. I don't like him. I don't like him.
I mean, you should have to take an IQ test, I feel, to be president. Like,
the problem is he's not a dumb motherfucker. I don't feel like he's retarded.
Yeah.
I just feel like he has common sense is zero in his fucking...
he's got good, like, business and financial skills. Like, don't get me wrong, he took the money his dad gave him and made something from it.
And bankrupted himself a bunch of times on the way. No,
well, yeah, I mean, he's had multiple tries at it, but what I'm saying
nobody's a king, but Obama was a motherfucking president.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
That was my, yeah, I'm hands down, yeah, don't get me wrong.
George Bush wasn't the most presidential motherfucker, but he was still a presidential motherfucker. His dad was a presidential motherfucker. Kennedy, you know what I mean? He was a presidential motherfucker. Now Clinton, my boy was in the White House getting schnucked off and all that types of crazy stuff. But you know what? That was behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, people talk shit on Kennedy all the time, but not Kennedy, Clinton all the time, but at the end of the day, a lot of people cheated on their motherfucking wife. That don't mean he was the worst president in the world. I mean, his wife is evil. I don't like her. But he wasn't the worst guy as president. From what I can tell. Obviously, I wasn't the oldest when he was, you know what I mean, rocking boots.
Like I was about to say, that whole story happened when I was, a little younger.
I like history though, man, because you gotta watch these motherfuckers. Because like people.
Honestly, I'd rather have shit like that happening than the stuff that's happening right now. To be honest,
you know, I
really
like history.
would.
I like history because you go back to the founding fathers and like Benjamin Franklin and other people like that, and they say shit that applies today. Like it all applies today, man. Like Benjamin Franklin said that. Anyone that gives up privacy for security deserves neither is gonna lose both. You get what I'm saying? That's deep as fuck. He also didn't like the motherfucking banks. Nobody liked the banks back in the day.
Yeah, the bank system is a whole different episode, man.
Oh, I'm not gonna get into it too deep right now, but I'm saying like the fact is like you can look back, none of them liked the banks, and the presidents that like. That's why I didn't like. That's one of the big reasons I didn't like Hillary. Because she was all over the banks. Like, yeah, these are the guys. I didn't get these guys on my side. Nobody fucks with them people, and they're giving you all this money to go talk to them. I don't like it. I don't like it. I got a good bullshit meter. Like I knew both Hillary and Trump were banging my bullshit meter. Like boom, 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 boom. But at least Trump was a little more honest with his craziness
like he
than
just
Hillary.
blatantly says the shit sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's what got him over the top is the fact that he was so honest about the fact that he was just a dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't like Mexicans, I don't like this, I don't like that.
Yeah,
We're gonna get rid of these fucking people.
And that's when you look shady and everyone's like,
now, if you're the devil versus a motherfucking dummy, it's gonna go with the dummy. Every time as a country, like if that's really all, and that's the other problem, like everyone felt like that was our only choices. Those were the only two choices really, like a lot of people felt like we had.
Could we just not choose?
Yeah.
What if that's possible?
The problem
is, like everybody to not choose.
Problem is
like,
the electoral college is still gonna pay.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And those are the people that matter. That's the big problem that I
see. That's what another thing. Like, I feel it doesn't even matter. Like, who's there to actually tally up all the votes? Like, who's to say Trump really did win? Like you just said, the electoral college and stuff. Who's to say that shit's not rigged? Yeah. You know what I mean? And they just put numbers in a column. Say, hey, this guy won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw us going to those booths. You know what I mean? Come voting. Pointless. Like, who's to say that's not the case?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you still got to do it just in case it's not. Like,
just in case. That's why I do it. That's why I try to tell everybody, man, just vote. for not Trump. I don't go, just vote for not Trump. I don't care who you vote for, just not the
Amen to
this
that.
motherfucker's president.
Now, if I can't handle him for 4 more years, man. I can't. I'll become Canadian.
All right, man. So let me give you one more. I know you got some stuff you got to do today. What do you feel is the greatest problem in America right now?
I honestly feel it's probably the people that run our country and our government and all the big higher up people, you know what I mean, wanting us to do all this stuff for them, like go to wars, all this, public servants, even hell, I was just bitching about the police, but they expect people like that to go out and do jobs like that, but yet they either got to get health care through their job or some kind of assistance office, something like that. But yet you don't ever want to give back to the people. But that's what this country is supposed to be about, giving back to the people. But yet we got to pay for everything we want, anything.
I think a big problem with that is that we spend so much money on this military stuff now. I'm not saying we don't need military. That's not what I'm saying at all. We do, because Russia don't like us, China don't like us, people are always at us. But we don't need the military budget to be extreme as it is.
Exactly.
We send hundreds of $millions to a bunch of other countries and do all this other shit. We got homeless veterans in this country. That's fucked up. That should not be a thing.
It
should never be a
thing. Should not. Should never. How does that even happen? I don't understand. But yet, then you got people that are crackheads living in homeless shelters and shit like that, while this homeless vet, now, granted, a lot of them are too proud to ask for help.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that being said, there's still no excuse for.
I don't know, man.
Most
I can't really say that. You said they're too proud to ask for help, but they're the same dudes you see begging.
I mean,
so they're trying to ask.
begging.
No, not all of them,
Like,
but some of them. You know what I mean? And the people that do ask for help don't always get it.
Exactly. It's. I don't know. It's a complicated thing, but.
Oh, we lost audio.
Oh man, when did I have it?
I don't know. That's real gay. All right. You know what? We're gonna wrap this shit up.
Alright, man.
We're gonna wrap this shit up. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate you, man. I'm trying to get everything right, but it's getting better. It's better every episode than it was the last one, man.
It's better than I thought it was. I didn't know how else it was gonna go, to be honest.
I just wanted to get your story out there, man. That's what I tell people all the time.
Dude.
I just like truth. I like the truth.
That's what I said. I just need some. It might just for now might be just some little YouTube podcast, but hey, like you said, 40 more people will see it now.
Absolutely. If you stuck through the end, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get all the notifications. I always appreciate the support. We'll be back soon. See you guys later.